And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
We'd love for you to save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. Don't forget our number. Bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you at consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors, submit a contact form, and also watch our live stream version of the Consumer Quarterback Show live from our website at consumerqb.com. Also available at WeBeam TV as well, 10 a.m. daily, Monday through Friday. And we have our 5 o'clock drive time right here on 1380 The Biz, helping you win. And let's go around the horn now. It's Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. Ruth Watkins in studio today, regional manager for GSF Mortgage Corporation and owner of Team Go Loans. Welcome in.
Yes. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate the opportunity to be here. It's phenomenal for me to be able to get out into the public and be able to share things that could help them in the process of thinking of home buying.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of challenges in the market, and from some points of view, we're going to talk about things happening with the rates going up.
Right.
Prices are climbing. We're going to jump into this article here as well. And thanks for coming in today, Ruth, and glad to see you're feeling better.
Yes.
And Louise Harris in studio as well, president of Last Research and Editing. Welcome in, Louise.
Hi, Brandon. I love being here. I love talking about writing and the value of using press releases and using a professional writer in whatever kind of writing you need.
Yeah.
Because so many people, they'll go online and say, oh, there's a template on some internet site. I can do that. And
yeah.
And it's just not as effective.
Yeah, we talked about in yesterday's show the DIY, the whole DIY trend with attorney Joe Pippin, estate planning attorney. You know, you can get docs online. A lot of times they're not the correct verbiage or language or state specified. People trying to sell their homes on their own. A lot of times they try to do it on their own, and they're going to be opening up themselves to security threats and just leaving money on the table in a lot of cases. So we're going to talk about that, press releases, and some of the ways that you can get your information out to the folks out there nowadays. And Brandon Rhymes here. I'm the owner of Platinum MVP Realty, PlatinumMVPRealty.com, and a published author, professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. We would love for you to check it out and take a look at a copy and buy a copy and leave us a nice review if you do. And we also like to get out involved with the community. I do public speaking engagements as well. So today we're going to start off, we're following up on our series here where we're talking about the top 10 rags to riches success stories of all time. And we talked about Henry Ford. Yesterday's show, we talked about Walt Disney. And today we're talking about Ralph Lauren. So he's born in a strict Jewish family with a house painter for a father. Ralph Lauren grew up with big dreams. He used to sell ties to his classmates to earn some cash, and he mentioned this in his yearbook that he wanted to be a millionaire. His interest in ties went on to help put his foot through the door of bigger achievements in the fashion world. He signed on a design for clothes for the Great Gatsby in 1974. He was catapulted into fame, which he commands today. So Ralph Lauren, we've seen his stuff in all the major department stores online, and so there's another success story. He comes in at number 3 on the list of top 10 rags to riches success stories of all time, according to Men's SXP. And we're also expecting a call in from Thomas King with Florida Firearms Academy. He's going to be calling in today in light of the school shooting, and you know, we like to check in with him as well and talk about, you know, gun safety, concealed permits, and you know, the ability to protect yourself. So we're going to hear from him in our second segment. But I wanted to give you a shout out here to real estate team. We've got Julie and Michelle. They've got some great listings here. One which has not even hit the market yet. This is a property in Dunedin, 34698. Beautiful property here. 2-bedroom, 2-bath property. Looks like it has a 2-car garage. $264,000 is a great buying opportunity here at 1,511 square feet, less than a mile from Main Street Park, shops and restaurants. And it's a great opportunity to purchase an off-market property. Hasn't even hit the market yet in Dunedin, and that's a hot market right now. So inventory is low over there. And they've got a beautiful property here, 8211 Brent Street, that is on market. 835 is the unit number, Port Richey. So it's in a Sam Pebble Point condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, $175,000. And this is a great place to watch the sunset from your pristine, fully furnished, 3rd floor, 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo offering breathtaking views of the beautiful Gulf of Mexico. This segment is brought to you by Merry Maids. Let Merry Maids take care of your winter cleaning. We know clean. Leave the details to us. Bonded, insured, customized cleaning, and they have screened and trained employees. They are the recipients of the Women's Choice Award, America's most recommended cleaning services, Merry Maids. Let Merry Maids take care of your cleaning. Relax, it's done. All right, let's jump right into it. Ruth Watkins in the house. She's a mortgage expert here,
Yes.
local mortgage expert.
Yes.
Support your local economy. And,
That's right.
So what are you seeing going on there with Team Go Loans?
Oh, well, there's a lot of things that I get the opportunity to counsel buyers in so many aspects because it is not something buyers do every day, and there is so much to be thought about.
Yeah.
Luckily, our market has rebounded tremendously. We're back to stable. We're back to where we should have been before the crash. So everything's leveled out. It's opened up opportunities for new builds. It's opened opportunities for financing land. It's opened up opportunities for renovation loans, to kind of make it your own. So whether you're a first-time home buyer, whether you are wanting to build your second dream home,
Yep.
those options are available to you now, and there's creative means of financing. Not everybody thinks of what a loan is. They might think 20% down, or they might think FHA, but really there are many ways to think outside of the box that make sense for you financially. So when you're considering a home purchase, it's like, is this your best investment to do it this way? Would your money work for you better in another way? And the tax advantages and so many things that go into the thought process of planning your financing.
Yeah, it is. It's more about a comprehensive plan. I like
Yes.
that, how you bring that into effect. We talk about a business blueprint here. A lot of times people, you need to have the estate planning attorney talking to your mortgage partner, talking to the real estate company, all of these different hubs on the wheel, so to speak, talking
Right.
together to come up with the best plan. So, this article, it talks about rates are going up after years of record low interest rates. It says,
yeah.
hello, 3%.
Yeah, that's right.
The Fed is making some noticeable increases. So
Yeah.
So we're seeing that trend.
Yeah, and the reason that is because obviously after the crash, which was historic and created a near collapse of our entire, the U.S. government, the thing had to be really radically, because there was nothing in place to stop those domino effect foreclosures.
Yes.
So now that we have rebounded, well, during that process, the feds bought the bonds and kept those rates artificially low. And they needed to do that in order to spur the buying process for people and be able to keep money moving. When they stopped doing that last year, we predicted that the rates would increase, which they did, but not much, which was really nice. We still stayed, in a lower rate market. And this year with the new presidency, we know that rates are going to probably increase at least 3 more times. Do we see them going up, to say 8%, where when my parents bought a home in 1968 at 8%, I think they're still going to stay maybe around, the 5s, ultimately when it comes out. And the thing is, if you look historically, that's nothing that, it's a phenomenal rate either way that you look at it.
Yeah, you're able to leverage, a small down payment, and control a $300,000-$500,000 asset. That's the American dream.
Right, exactly. Not only that, you are instead of like me, I'm not real comfortable with the stock market, but I am very comfortable with real estate. So to me, that's a more stable. And if you look at the stock market as it goes up and down, so does real estate.
That's right.
But in the long term, if you hang into those properties, they are going to build a legacy for you. They are going to build your wealth, and you can, build that, rapidly if you're in a seller's market, and, just write it out, and, you could do really well for yourself in real estate.
Yeah, you can. There's a lot of ways, and when we come back in our next segment, or maybe later in the show, let's talk about some of the investor options out there. Let's talk about some of the low down payment options that you have. Maybe even sprinkle in some down payment assistance programs as well, so that we can educate our listeners out there, talk to them about things that they can do to take control of their financial future, live a better life. And I like the idea of buying a duplex, a triplex, a quad, living in one side, building up that cash flow, and then coming into some long-term development of wealth there. So when we come back, more from our expert contributors, Ruth Watkins, Regional Manager, GSF Mortgage Corporation, and also Team Go Loans. We've got Louise Harris in studio, and we're expecting a call in from Thomas King from Florida Firearms Academy. He's going to be weighing in on these recent school shootings down in the east coast of Florida. So stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Later we have Name That Tune as well. We're going to have some fun on our Name That Tune. We got songs from today's list, our theme songs from popular television shows. So stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
We'll
Hey,
see
this
who's
is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and I'm the owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. We're looking for inventory right now, low inventory market, so we need sellers. We need folks that want to reach out and find out what the value of their home is, their properties. We would love to do a CMA, comparable market analysis for you. All you have to do is reach out to our hotline, 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372. Give us a call, shoot us a text message, and we will get right back to you and let you know the value of your property. There's also opportunities for free credit reports. We have a credit expert with our show as well, William Crowley, and we're having some fun here in studio. We're going to have our Name That Tune coming up, and we have our Feel Good Story of the Week. TV station buys $1 million in medical debt forgiveness for viewers. And on the phones, we have Thomas King. He's the president of Florida Firearms Academy. Thomas, what do you think's going on with this school shooting? I want to have you on and kind of update our listeners.
Hey, Brandon, thanks for having me. I just first want to say it's a very sad day for all those kids and their family, our country, and that nothing's been done to really prevent these horrible acts of pure evil. It's basically hurt us all to our soul and our core, and what's happening to our kids in these schools and families.
Yeah, it really is. It's such a sad thing. And, the debate happens with, the gun control debate. And then you have, what's going on with the medical facility. You think about the drug industry, the mental health counseling. It's a very complex issue. It's just so sad to see when this happens.
It's crazy out of all these school shootings, I'm going to give my opinion on how we can actually try to stop something like this and why it's not occurred yet. We all remember 9/11 and what happened. These bad guys came in, they hijacked these planes, they flew them into the Twin Towers, they flew them into a government building, and everything changed after that. Now when you go flying, you have to go through all kinds of securities, metal detectors, X-ray. They beefed up the security. They beefed up the cockpits on the doors on the plane. They also have armed, unmarked marshals on the planes with firearms. Why do they do this? Because they have to stop the threat before it gets on the plane, correct?
Right.
So I was just actually in a courthouse government building the other day, and I had to go through metal detectors. They had probably 6 to 10 armed guards watching me the entire time. Why, after all this, still, after all these school shootings, why hasn't the government put this kind of protection in for our schools?
Right.
I mean, they need to stop the threat at the door before it gets in. The government knows this. That's why it's so protected when you go into a government building. Listen, this is how it needs to be. You have to stop this threat before it gets inside the school, period. Just like in your house, you have alarms, cameras, maybe bells on your doors, you have lights, you have a dog, anything to hear any bad guy trying to get into your house. Why? Because if someone can walk right into your house, right into your bedroom, and watch you with a firearm, well, you're just a sitting duck. That's how these schools are. They walk right in, do whatever they want, and they know that they have 15 to 20 minutes before before they can stop shooting, before a good guy shows up with a gun to stop them, and that's only how they stop. It's kind of scary, but the government knows that they have to stop all threats at the door. That's how this school needs to be. In all schools, you should have one entrance into the school, maybe 3 metal detector lines for the kids to go by, a dog-sniffing guard there, maybe an armed military or police volunteer that can just sit there and help out to stop any threat at the door.
Yeah.
And any kind of airport or anything like that, I guarantee you they stop threats going on in the plane. You just probably don't hear about it. Or in government buildings, people try to come in with a firearm, but they stop it at the door. Nothing else can happen. Why can't we all see that these gun-free zones are a joke? They are not working. A bad guy with a gun that's going to go kill people isn't going to say, hey, you know what, that's a gun-free zone. I can't go in there and shoot anyone today. It's just so crazy to me that people think this. In fact, this is where most of these shootings are actually being taken place. Because they know that no one can stop them. And if they do, like this kid, he would have gotten away if it wasn't for someone else. He was actually far away. And, that's actually scary to me. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you say the same thing?
For the guy to get away, yeah, I mean that's unbelievable. I wonder, has there been anything come out yet about was he bullied at school? What was his deal?
He was.
Yeah.
He was a loner. He was bullied.
Yeah.
Bullied. Well, regardless of what it is,
he had mental health issues. And
if he stopped at the door,
he was a dropout too.
Happened. He can't get in with a firearm.
Yeah.
Just like here, if you walk in here with a firearm out, we're going to stop you at the door. Why? Because we have to stop the threat at the door. It's not going to happen. And I'm not going to let people come in here with a firearm in their hand walking around here in our store. So if this doesn't stop, and I mean stop now, this should have stopped a long time ago. People should start homeschooling their kids or even doing virtual reality schools because these kids are sitting ducks in a school. There's no way to protect them. If you're not going to have an armed guard there watching people, helping to stop a threat, then how are they going to protect themselves? They just can't.
Yeah. It's super frustrating. If you just joined us, Thomas King's weighing in on the recent school shooting, and he's representing Florida Firearm Academy right there in Tampa Road, Oldsmar, kind of the West Hillsborough Avenue there. And Thomas, yeah, you're right on point, man. I mean, it just makes so much sense. Why have we not taken these measures already? I mean, it's going to cost a little bit of money.
Every government building has to stop it at the door, just like every school should do it now. I've seen, like, on social media, people letting out their frustrations. They should ban semi-autos. They should ban ammo. You know what? It's just, that's not going to work. It's not reality. It's just like having a gun-free zone. Bad guys will always have guns, no matter what you ban. Just think of it this way. Killing people, period, is illegal. So banning other laws to stop that is just not going to happen. Banning ammo, they're going to just make their own ammo. But I get it. It's very frustrating. I am as sad as anyone else out there. My kid is in a school. I wish we could ban all evil people, but that's just a false magic thing. Like a gun-free zone. The only real good answer is to stop the fight at the front door. Bad guys can only be stopped by a good guy with a gun. Everyone knows that, and it's true. This guy will just keep going until someone stops him. If you don't have a firearm to stop them, then you're not going to be they're going to be doing whatever they want, and they're going to rule the land right there. And it's actually going to be very, very sad, and another sad day for America.
Yeah, pretty sad story. I just pulled up here. Florida high school football coach who was seen shielding students from gunfire dies. So this is the Aaron Fice is
heroes
the football
in this
coach.
event, but you know what? They gave everything to what? Help to stop an evil person, and that's what this is. You have to ask yourself this. What's the most important thing to you in the world? Well, the answer is your family, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you do everything you possibly could to protect your kid? Well, me personally, I would give my life. I would do everything. So, in that sense, what would you do if someone came into your house with a gun? Stop them at the door. What would you do, Brandon? If someone came in your house with a firearm to hurt you or your family?
Yeah, they'd be shot.
They would be shot. Why? Because you have a firearm. You have training. Listen, people, you need to stop them at the door. Stop at the door at schools, at your home. Get a firearm. Learn how to use it. Take an active shooter class to help out if you're at a mall or anywhere else like that. Get basic pistol training and protect your family. When you hear someone that stopped some bad guy that was trying to come into their house and they actually stopped the guy, this guy had training, he had a firearm, and he saved his family's life. I don't want people to be that person that shows up on the news because they had no idea what to do or how to protect their family. Stand up for your family's life and fight fire with fire. The bottom line is this. We all really need to come together, put our political correctness aside and opinions, and make our world a little safer for our kids and our family. That's the bottom line in all this. But how can you do that? Stop someone with a firearm. Stop them at the door. Stop evil people. If God came down right now and he said, hey, and you asked him, hey, are firearms evil? You think he would look at you very strange? He'd say, firearms are not alive and they're made of metal and plastic. There's evil people out there. That's what's evil.
Yeah.
In everything, we all have to make sure that evil people get reported. You put your political correctness aside. Be aware out there. Report anything that you feel scared or unnerved about. Nervous about. So that's how you stop all this before it even gets to the front door.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, absolutely. We got to start raising our hands and getting on the phones, the non-emergency lines as well. If you see anything suspicious,
you need to stop being scared and worried about all the political correctness. You need to stand up for yourself, and we need to get someone in there to protect these kids because this is where it's happening at gun-free zones. You don't see this happening at government buildings. They're going to stop it all at the front door, and you'll never hear about it because the police already put them in jail.
Yep, absolutely. Thomas, you got any events coming up over at Florida Firearms Academy?
Well, we just had some big major events. It was actually a packed-out class from our it was an active shooter class, and also what we're doing to prevent more things. We have our free kids safety class coming up. That's totally booked up. It books up in minutes. But we're also going to put something together out there for everyone for an active shooter class free for kids. So we're trying to work on this now because we want to educate and teach people what they really need to do. If they're just taught to go run and hide and wait for the shooter to come by and hope to not see them, well, then that's pretty scary right now. That's not good advice for anyone. I mean, I saw a video where when I watched it, it put bone chills in me, and it made me feel like these poor, helpless kids were sitting in a room just crying, thinking they're going to die. And that's not right for any kid to go through.
You're right. Absolutely. Reach out to Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, and go say hello to his staff. He's got the indoor shooting range. He's got concealed permit classes and all types of education. So, Thomas, thanks for calling in today and helping us with those insights.
I would like to say one thing to what you just said, Tom, is that the thing is, I thought exactly what you said last night about guarding at the door, but I also think about the fear of someone who does not know how, and you hear the horror stories of the gun being used against you. So the fact that you will actually have a course to make someone have that confidence to be able to use it, I appreciate that, and I'm glad to know you're out there.
All right, so we're going into our break here. So Thomas King, thanks so much for calling in. We appreciate it. And, great content there in terms of, how to react, how we can, be better equipped when it comes to these types of situations. So stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. More from our expert contributors. Name that tune coming up in our feel-good story of the week. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty. And we're giving a shout out to Brio Tuscan Grill at the International Plaza. Our official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Brio Tuscan Grill. They got a friendly staff over there, signature drinks, cozy atmosphere, and excellent Italian food over at Brio Tuscan Grill, the International Plaza, just off of West Shore Boulevard there at the mall. Go say hello to the very friendly staff and let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and you're going to get hooked up with that free water with lemon every time. Just let them know we sent you. They'll take care of you over there.
I had it. It was good.
Yeah, it's great food, right? All right, so I got a couple of hot listings here I want to let you know about. We got this property just listed, 8737 Bardmore Place in Largo. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, $195,000, over 1,000 square feet, and just reduced. The owner's motivated, ground floor unit, corner unit, and then you have some upgrades in here as well. Bardmore, unit number 103 in Largo. And a great buying opportunity as well here in St. Petersburg, 7941 58th Avenue North, St. Petersburg. This is unit number 207, 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, one of the most upgraded units in this community. It's a 55-plus community, $129,000 just listed, and a great buying opportunity, 1,100 square feet in beautiful Tampa Bay.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
Okay, so we're back in studio. We're going to have some fun here coming up. We have our Name That Tune segment. Today's songs on our Name That Tune are from popular television shows. And we also have our feel-good story of the week. Ruth Watkins in the house, regional manager, GSF Mortgage Corporation, Team Go Loans, and Louise Harris as well in studio, president of Last Research and Editing. So I want to go back to Ruth. We were kind of teasing some of the down payment assistance,
Yes.
some of the investor programs. Lots of opportunity in the market right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can be a borrower who is, from a monthly income standpoint, very capable and probably paying way more in your rent than you would if you bought. And for certain income ranges, and depending on the number of people that you have in the household, there are many down payment assistance programs available. I mean, we're talking from a SHIP program that might be community or county specific, and then we're talking Florida bond that is, our state specific. So there are multiple options, not to mention, in addition, sometimes you use seller concessions to help.
Right.
There's other ways to come up with down payments. We start to think about the creative ways to do that. Whether, you've got your IRS tax return coming in, you've got maybe something that you can sell, a gift from a family member, a little bit of concession. You really can structure and make this happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to get creative. You've got, many options when it comes to getting qualified for a home. And let's do this. Let's do this for the first 3 listeners that call or text in. Let's do a rent versus own analysis. I love this rent. I love when I get the text and the calls on this because, we're able to help someone come from a renter's, situation. And it may be even for one of your loved ones. If you're driving out there, you're listening to our show, maybe watching on WeBeam TV, it might be for a loved one or a friend or family. But, if you're paying rent to a landlord versus building up your own equity, taking advantage of the tax write-offs, there's definitely some strong, significant consideration that you should think about here. So text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying to our consumer advocate hotline, 813-670-7372. Just pull out your smartphone, shoot a quick text message with the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying to 813-670-7372, 670-REQB.
And also, to add to that, the cost of waiting.
Yeah, the cost of
waiting.
That's right. It's definitely going up. So when you think about that, that's part 2 of this article that we looked at. The prices are climbing, but not crazily fast. They've kind of, the appreciation, year-over-year appreciation is still strong. Of course, certain areas are still appreciating very quickly. Some of the Palm Harbor, the South Tampa, there's some really hot areas. Right. But let's talk about that, Ruth. Ruth Watkins here on Consumer Quarterback Show.
Far more confidence, obviously.
Yeah.
When you go through something like we all did, and it took about 7 years, that was depression, so, to come out of that, to feel strong again, and to be back on a normal playing field that we've been accustomed to really our lives, that stability is there. The dream, the American dream is alive. It's here. Get your piece of it. Learn how. Talk to an expert that knows how to structure you. If you're not a buyer today, you can be a buyer tomorrow, so to speak. It could take 6 months. It could take, it's planning. And, just as you need a financial planner, you need a mortgage planner, you need, people who can give you the answers that fit your specific circumstances and give you the best advice.
That's right. Yeah, there's a lot of options. A lot of people go to their local banks. The problem with banks is that they don't have a lot of these other programs. They're not informed. A lot of times they're maybe just a salaried person that knows how to do what they've been told.
Right.
They don't have the advantages that Ruth Watkins would have. She's with Team Go Loans, been in the business many years, and she's going to be able to customize a plan and shop the best rate.
Yes. The thing is I want to mention about banks. Banks are institutions that have many facets of income, from checking, savings, auto loans, and et cetera. And yes, they, have someone that's going to take your application and then pass it on to someone else and pass it on. And unfortunately, a lot of times that expertise isn't necessarily upfront to avoid any potential pitfalls that you would find out in the 11th hour when you really should be closing.
That's right.
So it's a matter of knowing and talking to someone who knows those things from the beginning and structures the loan so that you get to closing. And I'm not talking 2 months. You get to closing in 15 days. You get to closing in 20 days. I mean, you're in control, and it should be a smooth process.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have your jingle here.
Yes.
So do you want to introduce your jingle?
Yes.
We'll play part of it.
Okay, so I want to tell you basically what Team Go is that it is our team that works in unison to make sure that these dreams happen for our buyers and our referral partners. And so that's kind of how this was born, because Team Go is who we are, and we live it, we breathe it, and, we enjoy helping people.
Yeah, pretty catchy theme here, jingle.
Kind of makes me want to dance.
Here we go.
Baby want a loan to get themselves a home. Makes no sense to pay the rent when you would rather own. Only one place to go. Ruth Watkins and Team Go. They represent and stop the rent, cause baby want a loan.
I like that.
Don't be like Sir Rents-A-Lot. Contact Ruth
Sir
Watkins
Rents-A-Lot.
at teamgoloans.com.
Don't throw your money away.
The rent versus own analysis. That's what we're saying. Let's break it down for you. Rent versus own analysis, and help you. Help you understand, here's the money that's going out in your monthly living expenses to keep a roof over your head. And the numbers statistics show about a 30% difference, correct?
Oh, it's astounding. If you literally sat down and wrote it on paper, you'd probably pass out.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people miss an opportunity when they need to be open to an opportunity.
Yeah.
Even if you're not thinking of buying today, get counseled. What's going to get you in the game? What's going to build your wealth? What's going to leave your legacy?
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah. Building up, buying a home now, build that equity up, pay down that mortgage, that difference that you have in the debt pay down and appreciation. That's wealth. That's legacy that you're being able to build. So more from Ruth Watkins coming up as well. Let's go ahead and bring Louise Harris into the conversation, president of Last Research and Editing. So
Hi, Brandon.
What say you? Yes.
Well, it was interesting. She was talking about you have to talk to someone with expertise about mortgages. Well, you also have to talk to someone with expertise about writing and your marketing, because if you just decide that you're going to send something out there and it's not in the right format, it's not going to the right audience, it's not going to be effective. So if you sit down and you talk with someone who knows the market and knows how to do it, then you're going to have more. You're going to get more value out of it. You're going to have more response if it's done after talking to an expert that knows writing.
And we're talking specifically press releases,
blogs, ghostwriting, that kind of thing, yes.
Doing some blogs.
Because you can go on the internet and there's templates out there, but those templates, they're really not going... The editors who receive them just trash them most of the time because they don't trust they trust that they were written by a computer, so they don't think that they're actually. But if you hire someone like me, they're actually written the way they're supposed to be written, and they're sent to the right people. That's the other thing with those online sites, is they're just sending them. They're not really researching whether it's going to the right department.
Right.
And that's important, because you could be sending it to the advertising department who won't care about your press release. So you have to know who the right person is, like the real estate editor for a press release about real estate.
Yeah.
So and marketing, or especially print marketing, it involves so many things that you might not understand. So it's better to talk to somebody who knows it and get the advice, and then you can decide what you want to do. So
get creative, get creative with your press releases. We'll talk about that in the coming segment here when we come back. More from Louise Harris, president of Last Research and Editing, and also Ruth Watkins, Team Go Loans in the house. And we're going to have our Name That Tune. We're going to have some fun with you with our Name That Tune. We got some popular television show songs, bass songs, and it's the Feel Good Story of the Week. TV station buys $1 million in medical debt forgiveness for viewers. So stay with us here. Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
Coming back. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, the Consumer Quarterback Show, and the owner of Platinum MVP Realty. Some hot listings here I want to let you know about. 15648 North Himes Avenue in Tampa. This is 5 bedrooms, 4 bath in Northdale. $485,000. Beautiful property, over 4,300 square feet. Cul-de-sac property here with gleaming Italian marbles. And it's a beautiful pool home here in gorgeous Tampa Bay. Himes Avenue, great location. And I got a property over on River Close Boulevard out in Valrico. 4408 River Close Boulevard, Valrico. 4 bedrooms, 3 bath. This is in the Bloomingdale section of town. $299,000, over 3,100 square feet. Beautiful pool home. Another corner lot with a fenced yard. Great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. A couple of hot properties.
Is that a 3-car garage?
That is a 3-car garage. It sure is. Yeah.
Those are rare in Florida.
Yeah, highly desirable.
Yes.
Great property.
Because there's no basements, so you need
you need a little extra room, right?
Right.
That's right. Got some stuff to store there. And coming up, we have our Name That Tune. We got some going to have some fun with you there. We have our Feel Good Story of the Week. And in studio with me today, we've got Ruth Watkins, Team Go Loans, Louise Harris, president of Last Research and Editing. And this segment is brought to you by Kipton's The Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's our official hotel partner is Kipton's The Hotel Zamora on St. Pete Beach. You got a beautiful restaurant on site, the Castile Restaurant. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You've got a great pool area with a spa. You got boat docks. You can pull up there. And also the rooftop lounge, the 360 rooftop lounge, gives you gorgeous views of the Gulf of Mexico and the intercoastal waterways. And our official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. Now, make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and you're going to get a 20% discount off of your room stay. And it's a great idea to have a great little staycation here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Great place to live, work, and play, and have some fun. All right, let's go back to Louise, president of Last Research and Editing. So what else are you seeing in that space?
So we were talking in the break about being creative because editors get thousands of them a day.
Right.
And one way to be creative is to make sure that the press release is tied to something. For example, I just did one for you about tying the stress of home buying to heart disease, because February is American Heart Month, and heart disease is a big killer. It kills 50% of Americans, and buying a house or selling a house is very stressful, and it can contribute to heart disease. So I made sure the press release mentioned that. So so a template is not going to do things like that. They're not going to say, hey, this is February, maybe I should tie in something about heart disease.
Right.
So that, again, that's how you think. Like, if you think like a reader, you think what they're searching, and that's how you should spin your press release, spin your blogs, and you're more likely to get picked up if you do those kind of tricks.
Yeah, and you can even look on Twitter, on Facebook. You can see what's trending right there on the right-hand side. A lot of times they'll tell you what's trending.
And if you connect it somehow to that trend, you are more likely to get picked up.
Absolutely. And a great quote from Albert Einstein said, "Creativity is intelligence having fun."
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. Great quote. Let's go ahead and jump into our Name That Tune segment.
Nice transition there.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Name That Tune.
All right, Name That Tune. All songs from today's list are theme songs from popular television shows. And instead of naming the song, name the TV show. And we also have the year that they are from here. So the first song is going to be from, this was a show that ran from 1989 to 1998. Here we go.
Seinfeld.
That's right.
Yeah.
Seinfeld, yep. Popular. Good one. Who's your favorite character?
Oh, well, I think
Kramer.
Kramer's
yeah,
funny.
for sure. But also, I loved when, what's her name would go, get out, or
Julia Dreyfus.
Shut up, knock people down.
Julia Dreyfus. What was her name on the show, though?
Elaine, yeah.
Elaine. All right, here we go. Song or number 2 here is 1951 to 1957.
I Love Lucy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
Love
I Love Lucy. I suck at this.
Yeah. Well, you still got 3 more. We got 3 more. You can redeem yourself. All right, so yeah, that's a good one. All right, number 3.
Law and Order.
Yep, Law and Order.
I got it.
1990 to 2010. So that was a 20-year running show. Law and Order. A lot of knockoffs, too. A lot of very similar knockoffs. Crime Scene, CSI, all these different.
Yeah.
All right, here's a popular one as well. 1982 to 1993.
Sometimes you
want Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah,
that's right.
Cheers.
Pretty popular show as well. And the final show for today.
Just sit right back and you
Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Gilligan.
Gilligan.
Oh, Gilligan. 1964 to 1967. And then it says again in 1992.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I guess they opened back
They
up.
had a special, it was like, Where Are They Now type of thing.
Oh, remake?
Yeah.
I see.
It always made me mad that he messed everything up all the time.
Yeah, Gilligan. They could have got off that island so many times, except for Gilligan. All right, so let's jump into every day we're going to tell you something good as well. We're going to have a positive news story. Tell you something good.
tell me something good.
Used to be one of my favorite songs.
Yeah. So TV station buys $1 million in medical debt forgiveness for viewers. So KIRO TV and CBS affiliate and Cox-owned TV station in Seattle spent $12,000 to buy $1 million worth of debt that people in the TV station's coverage area owe to medical providers. Then the station said it would send notices telling the debtors, telling them that the medical debt had been forgiven. So the reporter Jesse Jones presented a story featuring a chronically ill woman who said that she had to make a choice between getting cancer treatment she knew she could not afford and without which she would die. So they made a decision. The station made a decision to do what collectors do: spend $12,000 to purchase the $1 million of debt for over 1,000 viewers around the Seattle area. Only the TV station would be collecting those debts. Wouldn't be collecting those debts beginning this week, and those people that were envelopes telling them the TV station had helped pay some of their overdue medical bills. The station does not know the names of the debtors or the medical issues they faced. The TV station contracted with a 501c3 charity called RIP Medical Debt in New York. The TV station purchased the debt without ever seeing their names. The charity sent letters to those people on their names. The yellow envelopes told recipients the good news and invited them to contact the station if they wanted to share their story.
Talk about tears. Yeah.
Cool story.
Where was that again?
I think that was in New York.
That's so nice.
Yeah, pretty neat story, huh?
Because it's so expensive.
I love people helping people.
Yeah, that's great, man. It's really good. We've had some great stories on our Tell Me Something Good segment here over the years. And let's jump into our lightning round.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, so top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Ruth Watkins, you're up first.
Okay, I would say, again, it's teamgoloans.com. Okay, that's where you can go and get started and find out what you can qualify for. Also, I say don't wait. Get on it. Find out. Get as much information, and then you can do with it as you will once you find it out. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Yeah, that's right. And don't be like Sir Rinse-A-Lot.
Don't. No.
Get a loan from Team Go. TeamGoLoans.com. All right, Louise Harris.
Well, I would just like to reiterate that it's always better to have expert advice. Don't do things by yourself. Find out what you need to do. It might cost you a little bit, but spending money actually pays off in the end. So you have to do your due diligence and find out what's really working and what isn't.
Yeah, absolutely. I would take. I want to talk about some of the ideas I think about when I look at my public speaking career, and when I speak to groups, I talk about the self-concept. You know, with the shooting down there, this self-concept of this young man. He felt that he was bullied. He felt that he was in a position, and then he goes and does something crazy like that. So developing the self-concept is something that you can do as well, and you can do that on your own time. You can do affirmations. There's a lot of ways that you can build your self-concept. If you have family members that are maybe beating you down, you know, kids, you hear these stories of orphans, and they don't have the surroundings to help them. Do affirmations. These affirmations are pretty cool. You just memorize some. Example of that would be one of my favorites is every day and every way I'm getting stronger every day. I'm getting smarter every day. There's one that you can do. For prosperity, there's one that's I'm attracting every day. I'm attracting success and prosperity. You know, you can say these things to you to yourself. You know, and especially record them. One of the tricks I heard is record it on a recorder. Play it to yourself before you go to bed. You know, these different affirmations. I'm blessed and highly favored as another one.
Did you hear that there is an Olympian from the United States? She's a skier, and she wrote "I am" on her hand that when she was practicing, she would always see it.
Yeah.
And,
just that subtle reminders. Those are reminders throughout the day. I'm so happy and grateful now that money flows to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. You know, repeating that, your subconscious mind does not know if it's real or not. It's going to bring it to your life. All right, hey, another great show. Ruth Watkins, TeamGoLoans.com. Louise Harris, last research and editing. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food you have, maybe some clothing. Bring it with you to and from your commute. Hand it to that person that you see in need on the side of the road. Be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.